You can feel joy, sadness, rage, fear, unless one day you can't. There's a disorder, real, documented, that erases emotion completely, fear included. And for some people, this isn't a choice. Their brain has simply shut down the ability to feel anything at all. Emotions are what makes us human. But they're not guaranteed. They depend on circuits in your brain that can be disrupted or destroyed. For some people, emotion doesn't just fade, it disappears. They feel nothing inside. Not because they're cold or distant, but because their brain has developed a glitch that shuts down emotional processing entirely. This is the disorder that erases emotion. And it's more common than you think. Here's something most people don't realize. Emotions aren't feelings, they're neural patterns. Your brain constructs them using a complex circuit that involves 3 key players. The amygdala handles fear and threat detection. The insula processes self-awareness and bodily sensations. The prefrontal cortex regulates and interprets these signals. When this system works properly, you experience the full spectrum of human emotion. But when it's disrupted, you get emotional response dysfunction. The circuit breaks down, the signals stop flowing, and suddenly the part of you that feels doesn't. There's a condition called alexithymia, literally meaning no words for emotions. But it's much more than that. People with alexithymia can't identify or describe their emotions. They experience emotional numbness on a fundamental level. It's common in people with PTSD, autism, and trauma survivors. But here's what makes it terrifying. It's not sadness. It's not calm. It's nothing. Just a blank signal where feeling should be. Imagine trying to describe the color red to someone who's never seen color. That's what alexithymia feels like from the inside. The emotional vocabulary simply doesn't exist. The brain has lost the ability to translate internal states into recognizable feelings. People with alexithymia often describe it as living behind glass. They can see emotions happening to other people. They understand intellectually that they should be feeling something. But the actual experience of emotion? It's like trying to hear music through broken speakers. Let me tell you about SM, a woman whose story reveals just how completely the disorder that erases emotion can rewire a human being. SM has urbach-wiethe disease. This rare condition destroyed her amygdala, the brain's fear center, completely. She's been held at knife point, nearly suffocated, approached by deadly snakes. Her response? Nothing. No fear, no panic, no survival instinct. Her brain literally cannot register danger. Fear has been erased from her neural vocabulary. It's a glitch in emotional processing so complete that she's become a living case study in what happens when biology breaks its own rules. But here's what's truly unsettling. SM isn't calm in dangerous situations. She's not brave. She simply cannot access the emotion that keeps the rest of us alive. The disorder that erases emotion didn't just take her fear. It took her ability to protect herself. Then there's affective blunting, a form of emotional detachment disorder where feelings become muted. People with this condition describe it as living with the volume turned all the way down. It's common in schizophrenia, severe depression, and as a side effect of certain medications. The emotions are technically there, but they're so dampened that life feels like watching a movie through thick glass. One patient told researchers, "I know I should be happy at my daughter's wedding. I know I should be sad at my father's funeral. But I feel nothing, like I'm watching someone else's life." This isn't about being stoic or emotionally mature. This is about a fundamental disconnection between brain circuits that should be talking to each other. The disorder that erases emotion doesn't discriminate. It takes joy as readily as it takes pain. Perhaps the most disturbing form of emotional numbness is depersonalization disorder. People with this condition feel detached from their own emotions, thoughts, and experiences. They describe it as watching their life like a movie they're not in. The cruel irony? They can feel one emotion clearly, and that is terror. Terror at their own disconnection. Terror at feeling nothing while watching themselves live. I've had the opportunity to listen to a person with depersonalization disorder who explained his condition in his own words. I'm screaming inside, but the scream has no sound. I'm drowning, but there's no water. I'm dying, but I'm still breathing. This reveals something crucial about the disorder that erases emotion. Sometimes it's not a gentle fading. Sometimes it's a violent separation between who you are and what you feel. The brain creates a gap where connection should be. What makes these conditions so unsettling is that they reveal emotions aren't hardwired into human experience. They're programmed, constructed, dependent on biological systems that can fail. Loss of fear, emotional detachment disorder, alexithymia, depersonalization. They're all variations of the same glitch. The brain's emotional operating system crashes, and suddenly you're left with the hardware but no software to run it. People often ask why this happens. Trauma can trigger it. Genetics can predispose you to it. Sometimes it just develops with no clear cause. The disorder that erases emotion doesn't need permission. It just needs opportunity. But here's the question that haunts researchers studying emotional numbness. If you couldn't feel love, sadness, or fear, would you still be you? Think about it. Your emotions inform your decisions. They create your memories. They build your relationships. They literally construct your identity. When the disorder that erases emotion takes that away, what's left? Some people adapt. They learn to intellectualize emotions, to recognize them logically even when they can't feel them. Others describe it as living in a world where everyone else has a sense you've lost, like being colorblind in a world obsessed with rainbows. But the most concerning aspect of emotional numbness isn't what people lose. It's what they gain. Some describe a strange clarity, freedom from the chaos of feeling. Others talk about making decisions based purely on logic. But this isn't evolution, it's brain malfunction. The disorder that erases emotion doesn't create superior humans. It creates humans missing fundamental parts of what makes us human. Emotion isn't hardwired, it's programmed. And like any system, it can crash. When it does, you don't just lose reactions. You lose connection, identity, even your sense of being alive. The disorder that erases emotion reveals something terrifying about human consciousness. We're not guaranteed to feel. We're not guaranteed to connect. We're not even guaranteed to recognize ourselves in the mirror of our own experience. These conditions strip away the comfortable illusion that emotions are permanent, that feeling is automatic, that being human is guaranteed. They show us that everything we think makes us who we are can be erased by a glitch in biological programming. This is Human Glitch, where biology breaks the rules and sometimes erases the parts that make you human. If this exploration of emotional numbness, alexithymia, and the disorder that erases emotion has left you questioning the nature of human experience, subscribe, stay curious, and never take your emotions for granted. Because in a world where feeling can disappear, the ability to feel anything at all might be the most human thing about you.